All right, guys. I just recorded 15 minutes of conversation and discovered that my logo wasn't up and it was again somehow muted. So we're going to try this again. I was listening to this. I was, music is my spirit lifter. So, music is my spirit lifter. And I doubt very seriously, I don't know when I'm going to record and not want to play a little bit of music. So, forgive me. Now, working my way backwards, which I sometimes and oftentimes actually do. Greetings. Welcome to my YouTube channel. As we speak, I have 0 subscribers, but that's okay. I envision that at some point I will have subscribers, and like I have done once I've discovered an influencer on social media or a YouTuber, I would go back and I'll listen to everything. So even though this is my 5th recording, I'm going to say it's my first. So I'm going to say welcome to my channel. And my name is Saraya. That's the name that I've given myself. That's not my birth name. The reason why, but I'll say this. If I had my druthers, I would change my name to Saraya because it means spiritually intense. And for as long as I've known myself, I have been spiritually intense. And I'm going back to like 11 years old. At some point, I will introduce my face to you. Part of the issue is that I'm a very, I like to present a pretty face when I do anything that, my family would tell you that even when I go to the grocery store, I put on concealer and I make sure that I look beyond presentable. So I have to reconcile that's exactly who I am, with the fact that a lot of times when I feel inspired to share, it's in the morning after I've gotten on my knees to give thanks to God, of which I call creator, universe, infinite spirit, infinite intelligence. But the first thing I do in the morning is I get on my knees and I pick one of these books that I keep. I have about 4 of them. Don Miguel Ruiz I have 3 of his books, The 4 Agreements, The Mastery of Love, The 5th Agreement. I also pick from The Game of Life and How to Play It, Conversations with God. I also pick from I have about 3 or 4 books of affirmations that I've created or I've gotten from other people. I've borrowed from other people. So the reason why you're not seeing me right now is because, again, I have to reconcile and figure out how I can make myself look presentable and not lose the momentum of getting on my knees and reading something and pondering and sharing. So speaking of sharing, today's talk is entitled The Right to Be Happy. The book that I pulled this morning is The Mastery of Love. And I don't read these books in order. I've read the books for the most part, but I just open it to whatever. I just open the book and see what the universe has for me to be reminded about today. And today it was the fact that we have the right to enjoy life. We were born with the right to enjoy life. We were born with the right to be happy. This is not something, although this is something that I intuitively knew, it is not something that came easily for me because I was born into chaos. I was born into parents that were feuding, that essentially most people would say maybe they shouldn't have gotten together. My earliest memory of my childhood is my dad trying to beat and what I interpreted as killing my mom, trying to kill my mom, because anytime you see someone taking a phone, back in the day, it was the phones that was on the wall, and hitting someone in the head with it, um, or going after someone with an umbrella that has a point, screaming and yelling at the top of your lungs, cursing, physically tussling with someone, you think as a 5-year-old, oh, he's trying to kill my mom and maybe me too. So, but even in the midst of all that chaos, I've always had this deep desire for happiness and peace, and I've always held on to hope. And even when things were at its hardest, when there wasn't food in the refrigerator, I would remove myself from that situation mentally and find something to hope for, to hold on to. And that would get me through the next hour, the next day. I didn't have the language for this, of course. I started getting the language early though, because from again 11 years old, I was on this spiritual quest for peace and knowledge. So I would listen to the talk radio. I think I was born in Brooklyn, but I was reared in Central America for 5 years, and that's definitely influenced my life. Or I was reared for the first 5 years. It seems more on than off, but I think people tell me it was on and off. My earliest memory is of Central America, Panama to be exact. But anyway, I know that I was listening to a child psychologist by the name of Dr. Lawrence Bolter, and all of that influenced my life. At 11 years old, I was having days of solitude and silence, and I was trying different religions, trying to find a place where I belonged spiritually. So when a few years ago, I woke up and I heard the name Saraya, I looked it up and it said spiritually intense. I was like, that's the name that I would give myself. Because I've always been spiritually intense. So Spirit Lifter is the name that a person who's no longer in my life actively, but her mom and her sister are in my life. She gave me the name Spirit Lifters, and that was the highest compliment anyone could give me. And I've been mentoring under that name ever since. So I'm not going to continue much longer with this first quotes in quotes introduction to myself. And there will be another reintroduction when I finally do show my face. But I just wanted to, for today, introduce myself as Saraya, as your spirit lifter, remind you that you have the right to be happy and you have the right to live your best life. You have the right to experience joy because you're here. You're here. You made it through the birth canal. So you have the right. And I'm going to remind you every time I close that I would like you and me, because every time I say anything out of my mouth, it's a reminder for me. And it's actually an encouragement for me to live on that higher consciousness that I was born to live under. We have our subconscious, our conscious, and our superconscious, which I also call the higher conscious. I strive every day to live from that higher consciousness place. And that place is walking in integrity, not allowing another person's way of life, mood, words, actions to dictate the way I feel, the way I move through life. So, but instead allowing myself to lead with love, live the life that I am supposed to live, giving the gifts, offering the gifts that I was born with, my unique gifts. There's only one Saraya. which means my gifts are unique and needed, as are your gifts. That's why it's important that you live your life. And then it's also important that you pay attention to your lessons, because the lessons are there to enhance your life, not for you to replay them over and over, not for you to have regrets, but for you to move forward so that you can be happy and enjoy life. That is your birthright, to be happy and to enjoy life. Okay, that's it for now. Peace.